Let's call the meeting in order. Start with a roll call vote. Sarah Janetti.
Here.
Allison Reed.
Here.
Jason St. Peter.
Here.
Bill Vogt.
Here.
Bill Fields.
Here.
Diane.
I see that.
I don't see them. Sarah's gonna get Rich.
Present.
And Steve Van is present. We have the minutes of August seventh and August 14th. Do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote. Sarah,
Aye.
Allison,
Yes.
Jason,
Aye.
Bill,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
and I, it's unanimous. Right over to the superintendent's report.
Okay.
And just let the minutes show that Diane is here in person. Welcome, Diane.
We're sort of in that transition where we don't have student members, but we will going forward. I think we start with the principals and we'll start with Cynthia. We started school a couple of days ago, so I think all the news is about the start of school. Tell us what's going on.
So today was our second day with students. It was wonderful. We only had maybe 3 criers, really besides, completely besides themselves criers. That went on for a little too long. So hopefully tomorrow and then our long weekend will be good for those little guys. The 2 days prior where we had just our staff in the building were really wonderful. My entire staff had opportunities to work on collaborating with one another. And the focus was on understanding the students who they would be working with this year. They had opportunities to collaborate with one another, and the previous teachers, their special education teachers, our interventionists. And they also had an opportunity to look at the students' data to really have a good understanding of the students who would be sitting in front of them. Yesterday, and that was really wonderful. Those 2 days were great. And then our first day of school, we also had an open house. So a meet the teacher day. So from 2 to 3, families came in. It was a wonderful time. We had displays of the new high school up, so my families, which will, obviously benefit from the new high school, I had an opportunity to see these in our school. It was great. And that went really well. And then on the first day at 9 o'clock, after we allowed families in to walk their students to class, I had what I had this last year too, it's called tissues and tea. So anybody whose parents are crying about leaving their kindergartners who are falling downstairs, could come up, and we had a really nice chat. It included Sarah was with us, my PTO representative, new families, and families that had been there for a while. So that was really nice.
Is there a correlation? Do the crying parents or crying kids?
Yes, usually. There's a real.
It's the same correlation to college dropout.
It is.
Yes.
Yes, and that's what a lot of the teachers are saying. They're like, just wait till you drop them off at college.
That's right.
You're not helping. Oh, gosh. And then, also, can I tell the big news about PRISM?
Yeah, tell it now. We're gonna get to it.
Okay. So we did get the PRISM grant, which is a grant for to help us choose and then implement and adopt a new ELA curriculum. So I'm really I'm really excited about that. That will entail this year in particular is sort of they'll have a consultant group work with us, and we'll do a landscape analysis around what the needs are for my staff and my students and my families. we'll come up with a plan and we'll look at approved curriculum that is, ELA, DESI. And then, purchase a curriculum and hopefully at the end of the year also have an opportunity to have some professional development with that curriculum before the close of this year, which is a really key in, making for a smooth adoption of the curriculum next year.
And I'll chime in on two things. So Colin and Cynthia worked on it. This is a particularly big deal, like kudos to the two of them for getting it. But you remember last budget season, we made the tough choice of eliminating $75,000. They came back and got a grant for $164,000. So sometimes things work out. And this is one of those times. So it's a really big deal.
Yeah, and so we're off to a great start and it's gonna be a wonderful year. I'm excited.
Great. Jake, what's happening at Du Bois?
Maybe you should wear a mask. We had early go homers. I'll be quick. We're again, like our high school counterparts and elementary school counterparts, great start to the year. Really excited to be back. Last Thursday, we had our fifth grade and new to Du Bois student open house. We had about 250 people who came to that. We had a lot of school choice students this year. Have some kids joining from Richmond, have our Farmington River, new students coming in. So we had a really packed house and had a good time and, got a lot of good work done. And, just, it strikes me every year that school is just, really just doing school in quotes is just a wonderful example of teamwork because it just takes everybody working together, maintenance and custodial, food service. We had an amazing event yesterday or the day on Tuesday in the cafeteria, the annual breakfast, which was just wonderful and really good to see our colleagues from across the district. Of course, our office staffs all summer getting things ready to go. In our case, Julie and Deborah just keeping everything moving forward all summer. And we're just really grateful. And then our teachers and paraprofessionals come back and the team is almost complete. And then our kids and our families return. And so then there's 600 or 700 of us on the team getting good things done for kids. And it's wonderful and it's heartening. We have a few scheduling wrinkles. I have this under good news, and I don't know if some of you have heard about this at home. You can share if you want, but we went from 4 lunch shifts to 2 lunch shifts this year. Sort of like what the high school does, I believe, but we did this in an effort to, we pick up about 35 instructional minutes a day by doing this. And we still have some wrinkles to work out, some bumps to smooth out, but to pick up, over 100 instructional hours over the course of the year as we're trying to prepare young people for not only where they are, but what's next. We think it's worth it, and it's thanks to the flexibility of our food service folks and our paraprofessionals that do most of the supervision along with Ellie and I. And then really thank you to our students for their flexibility in trying to get used to a new system. We think it will be all right. We have 11 new to our building staff this year and a couple, 3 people that are brand new to the district. And we just feel like we added strength across the board, whether through transfers or through new employees, and we're really grateful to them for joining us here in Berkshire Hills. We are in the 3rd year of doing our One School, One Story community read. The book this year is called Mona Lisa Vanishes. It is a nonfiction book written by a writer that actually lives in the Pioneer Valley. So we're hoping that he will come out and we will once again be able to have an in-person day. But all of our kids will be reading this. Brendan Heck, 7th grade English teacher, and Jennifer Guerin, our librarian, really organized this along with a team of faculty. And this year, the libraries from all of the towns that comprise the school district are also getting copies of this to loan out to families and community members who would like to take part in our community read as well. It is about the Mona Lisa being stolen in 1911, and so it's a lot of nice history. And the Clark Art Institute is actually partnering with us to really work in the art history piece and take advantage of our good relationship with them. So we're excited about this. Great first week of school. Thank you to Peter for setting a good tone for us on Tuesday, and to everybody for making the work we do here possible. Really exciting things ahead. Good, thank you.
I think that's the theft that nobody realized it was gone for like a week.
That, yes. And there were newspaper reporters trying to prove how lousy the security was in the Louvre, who were staying overnight and camping out to make the point. And then that painting was gone. Feel free to join us. If you want a copy, let me know.
Good evening, everybody. How we doing?
Great, thank you.
I'm gonna just go ahead and try to, beat, the amount of time Jake Campbell's put in, so just buckle up and, get started. Good news is that school has started and we can all breathe a little easier since the anticipation's over. And I'm telling you, it really gets, pretty intense the last few days before we start. We had, 2 very productive PD days, early this week, with a freshman welcome on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We had a ton of kids and family members show up. And we really, the hope is to ease the transition for the kids who are quite nervous coming into the high school, and we hopefully accomplish that. Athletics have been in place since Monday of last week, and so now they're in full swing. And really the biggest problem that we have is we have a ton of kids on a couple of teams, but that's a good problem to have. Competition has begun, and we wish our student athletes the best as they compete for Monument Mountain. The cell phone procedures, right back in place, not a problem. Kids continue to adhere. No, don't talk to me. Continue to adhere to them very well. We've only confiscated a couple phones in the first 2 days, and this is because we have great kids. They're truly getting accustomed to the rules for no cell from bell to bell. Peter, I have that presentation for later.
Yeah,
So just table that for now.
yeah, tables for now.
Okay, we also changed our schedule this year, and we went from 8 period days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then those long block days, Tuesday, Thursday last year. And now we have 7 period days, we're still on an 8 period, pardon me, on an 8 period schedule, but it's 7 periods a day, so we have an 8-day rotation where we drop 1 period every day. This allows us to have 50-minute classes, which we really believe is the perfect amount. So we'll see how that goes this year, but so far it's, what day is it? Okay, so I mean, everybody seems to be doing just fine with it. And there's a second announcement. I don't know.
Yeah, so why don't you announce it, and then I'll fill in some other stuff.
Okay, so we're fortunate and grateful to have received a 2-year renewal of the bar grant for $300,000. We found out yesterday, right?
Yeah.
This allows us to do so much at our school. And I'm just gonna list a few of those things. Find out where I'm at here. It supports the stipends for leadership positions, such as department coordinators, instructional leads, and social emotional leads. It also supports our SOB advisors and activities. Our restorative justice coordinator and related activities, as well as PD. We're partnering this year with Collaborative for Educational Services out of Northampton. And they attended and ran some of our PD on the first 2 days. This is truly a great partnership as they work with us to meet the needs of all students through inclusion and belonging, and ultimately really through pedagogy. Okay, Peter?
Yeah, it's a really big deal. We're really appreciative of BAR and their support. We were looking at it, they've been supporting us for a while. It's well over $1 million in total, which is quite a big deal. I'll come back and share the numbers. And we just heard today, we couldn't sit on it, but we're actually gonna we'll give you information and sort of all the things and ask you to formally approve or accept it at the next meeting, but we wanted to tell you about it today. And Christopher, and Colin did a really nice job, putting together the proposal. That's great.
It is great. Allows us to do a lot. Yesterday, we began with a moment of joy at our school. This was an idea born out of the school council, but also developed, organized, and implemented as a result of work with the school council, and was really incredible. We had students and staff in each door playing music and you know, in big ways welcoming all the students as they're coming into the various doors. The students were encouraged to go to the cafeteria for breakfast, and then into the gym to meet up with friends for conversation. So we were constantly encouraging them, the announcements, the whole deal. The doorways, the hallways were decorated, as well as the gym. School council with members of the National Honor Society had done all these decorations, but they had also set up a table in the gym with prizes donated by community members, and they had a wheel for the kids to spin and win a prize. So go to the gym, chat with your friends, spin the wheel, win a prize, and music in there happening. And then right at 8 o'clock, and of course, up to that time, we were, okay, if we get in the gym, get in the gym. All the teachers and all the staff were in the hallways leading up to that, you know, just to greet the kids, the whole thing. And then we started with a mini pep rally, led by Brian Leslie and a number of our senior leaders. This includes celebrations of athletics, activities, and a huge welcoming show of love for all the students coming back, as well as, of course, the ninth graders. They played some games and really set the day of the school year up with a great start. It was really fantastic. Halfway through the day at lunchtime, I was sitting in the cafeteria as I do, and two seniors walked up to me and were like, "Hey, Mr. Barnes, how you doing?" I'm great. I hadn't seen you. It's so good to see you. Yeah, it's really good to be back, Mr. Barnes. You know what? It feels really good in here today, you know? It just feels great. You know, that was all we wanted, right? We wanted the kids to come back, feel the joy, feel the excitement, feel the community, and it worked. So I'd like to thank the leadership of the school council, their ideas, their energy, and volunteerism. The kids truly appreciated the love bestowed on them through this activity and on the prizes provided. This school council is a great group that is making an impact in our school. And as they said yesterday, right at the end of this, you know, like all the kids are out, like, you guys okay? Do you need help with anything? No, we're good. They said, this is the only beginning. Let's keep the joy happening in mind, and couldn't have said it better at the right. So, well done. Challenges, we had a teacher resign over the weekend due to the fact they're accepted a position at another school. This was a science teacher. We found some stopgap measures right away, of course. But we have posted the position and crossing our fingers that there's a biology teacher out there who wants to be a Spartan. You know anybody? Aaron said no. We'll keep trying. And we continue to look for administrative assistant, which we really need to get somebody on board soon. We have a lot of people chipping in to manage things, but it's gonna get tough, and we really gotta fill that position. So those are the challenges we have. Questions?
Yeah, it's great.
Great job. Thank you. Thanks, Ryan.
So I just have, one more thing before we get to the grant approvals. On Tuesday, we had our annual breakfast with all the faculty and staff. And Kathy Sullivan and her team did it, like you're on a cruise or something that they put all together, and Bill and Sarah Borla joined us, which was fun. And it was quick, brief, to the point. We celebrated people with 25 years of working in the district. And I think it was a really nice start to the year. So two approvals. One is a $1,000 donation from J. Frank Russell to the Food Box Program. That's the program where we give boxes of food to upwards of 100 and maybe 40 families a week. So I'd love for you to approve that, and also the Prison Literacy Grant that Cynthia just talked about. I'd love for you to.
Motion to approve the $1,000 donation from J. Frank Russell to the Food Box Program.
So, the second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote. Sarah.
Aye.
Allison.
yes,
Jason.
Aye.
Bill.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Diane.
Yes.
Rich.
Yes.
And it's unanimous.
And then would somebody like to also make a motion for the?
Yeah, President, make sure that on behalf of the school committee, they convey thanks to
Yes.
Mr. Russell.
Yeah, no, it's already done.
That's terrific.
Motion to accept the president grant as set forth in the package.
Do I have a second?
Second,
Any discussion? Roll call, Sarah,
Aye.
Allison,
Yes.
Aye.
Bill.
yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
and it's unanimous.
Great, thank you. The next one, and this came up, I think, 2 meetings ago, is a request for school committee volunteers to join the co-curricular guidelines ad hoc subcommittee. We've got a little work to do there, and it'd be great if a couple of people joined it. I think Steve will certainly volunteer, I don't know, because it's his favorite, but would anybody
Was
else?
that when it was written?
What is it
Kind of like a
about,
constitution.
What?
Can you explain a little bit what they're doing?
Yeah, so we have a set of co-curricular guidelines that's supposed to drive how we do some things, and we revised them a while ago, but it's time to sort of look at them again, look at them in relation, and co-curricular guidelines doesn't cover it all, but sort of look at it in relation, particularly to raising funds and some of what happens with that. Steve, am I missing anything?
Yeah, I think that's right. That's how I agree.
I would know.
So, Bill, so Rick and I will be on. We will not start until after November 4th for obvious reasons.
I'll join that. I didn't know anything between now and November 4th.
Anyone else?
Anyone, I mean, I'll bow off too, someone else.
Well, we can only have 5. Well, let's see.
No,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what, no, that's
How that
fine.
works.
That's fine if no one else is joining. But that's fine. We're
I'm
good.
counting on still being busy after November 4th, so I'll,
Yeah.
I can be an alternate or I'll
Okay.
bow off in case then someone else.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, and remember, we also have teachers, we have negotiations. So it's gonna take a whole year.
Yeah, not teachers.
Not teachers,
Harris and the cooperative.
Well, we don't want to change any policy like that mid-year anyway, so we
Exactly.
start November and hopefully have something for the school committee to vote on over the summer and then.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
good, that's great, thank you, everybody. The first day of school we did. The second thing, or next thing for me is, and it's in your packet, if you saw an electronic version of it. US News and World Report, which forever has done college rankings, is now ranking everything, right? High schools, middle schools, elementary schools, almost like dog food, like they rank everything. We got a nice ranking this time, and you don't want to live and die by the rankings, because if you get too excited one year, you get too disappointed the next. But they picked up on some interesting things that are actually going to set up Christopher to talk about some other stuff. But I'm excited to share it with you. In Berkshire County, we're seen as second behind Mount Greylock ahead of Lenox. And that doesn't happen every day. So
Statewide, we're in the top quarter.
correct.
And if you did a control access against funding, like, you'd be first.
Yeah.
Because the schools that are ahead of us all have much more robust spending mechanisms.
Yeah. So I think it's good news. I imagine over time it'll continue to get better. So I just wanted to.
I guess the college rankings have been fraught with, mistakes.
Well, and some colleges were gaming the system,
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
And the formula was problematic. So it's sort of like,
If you go on their website, it pretty clearly explains how they rank theirs.
Hmm.
And it's pretty straightforward.
On the US News one, so.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can find the high school ranking.
yeah, just
Yeah.
Google USU's high school rankings and they give you how.
And it's sort of fun because you can click on everything, like it's
Yeah.
built that way. So I put a paper copy of it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't,
Now
the
you gotta,
static copy doesn't show you so much.
yeah,
But worth looking at, and nice work at the high school to do that.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. What that sets up, and Christopher, you can come back and I'll click your slides for you, is so there's some of the foundational thing that we did well in the US News report was some of the college preparedness, but also, AP testing. So Christopher put together a slideshow that I'm gonna share, and he'll talk us through it. And then I just gotta get, okay, there you go.
So just before I start, you're gonna see college readiness in there as a category of what they use for the ranking. I didn't know what that was. I looked it up real quick and I believe it's just a percentage of students who complete, yes. So either that or it's a very close correlation to that. So that's just to say that that's what that is. And it didn't, what I quickly looked at didn't appear to have any more depth than that. So but our AP scores look great. We got a 5-year report. Peter, if you wouldn't mind, we're gonna, this, all this information is several slides of a little bit different, but mostly the same information. So across the last 5 years, these are numbers for the total AP exams administered. You can see the content areas there in the middle, and then the total numbers on the right. Overall, you know, there's that bump in 22 when there were a whole ton of tests, but from 21 to 25, you know, we're seeing an increase over time, that we're really proud of. So that's fantastic. And there is an additional test, or two given over this time, but we're still really psyched about these numbers. So that's just
I don't mean
participation.
to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what those subject areas are?
Could if I had it pulled up, I could
I could probably rattle them off the top of my head. So, biology, chemistry, there are 2 in English.
US history.
US history, sometimes
French,
students,
Spanish.
there are 2 economics, like economics 1, economics 2, French, Spanish.
Calculus,
Calculus, some do.
I think pre-calc.
physics,
Pre-calc's new, so we haven't done it. Physics
That's
is
a
one
lot
other one.
I think, yeah,
So that's almost all of them.
good.
You ready for the next slide?
Yes, started looking for it. Yeah, slide 3, please. So here you'll see the, no, that's still the number, there we go, the number of students, right?
Right.
So you can tell that some students are taking more than one test. And that number stays pretty static across the years. What I didn't do was I should have put the number of enrolled students that we had, or number of students in grades 11 and 12 there, so we could just see what that looks like. But I imagine that over time, aside from last year's spike, we had a pretty good sized class of about 135. We're seeing, you know, probably a lower enrollment generally over that time. Wouldn't mind keep going, Peter. Here, it gets really interesting. If you look at that percentage of total AP students with a score, with scores of 3 or say again, that our teachers are really doing a fantastic job. They're our students, and I just want to commend them, and I want to make sure that's loud. So we thank them, and also thank our work for our kids. Any other questions? So it's good. All right.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's really impressive and everybody should be commended on this. So it's frustrating when we're having issues with technology to share an update on technology. So I appreciate the irony of this moment. We hope we're finalizing things on our 4 websites, and we hope that those will go live on September 8th. And as they go live, there'll be some changes and updates we need to make, and we'll do those, but it's moving in a good direction.
When they're up and running perfectly, can you tell Rich Bradway?
Yeah,
I call the Rich Bradway Memorial website.
I know.
We started thanking this from a decade ago.
I'm embarrassed when I'm embarrassed when I see him in the post office. Like, yeah, no, we can do that. So that's coming. In the packet, I have something, but before I go into it, it's a request to approve a new job description, which is the program director for out of school time. And I could have shared this in the updates, but JP Oken, who's been in that role for a few years and has done a really nice job, is stepping away for a full-time teaching position in another district. So I thank him for the work he's done. He's going to sort of help out behind the scenes. Molly Murray's going to take on some of those responsibilities, and we're going to reallocate some. And I just heard about this last week, so like Christopher with the biology teacher, I'm scrambling to make it work. And in fact, Tuesday, I'm going to be covering the after school for at least for a day, right? And we'll go from there. But in the packet is a revised, I'm sorry, it's not revised. It's a new job description for a role that's slightly different than the old one. It's thank you, yeah. Did that do it? Okay, so it's listed as the program director for out of school time, which is a new job description. That's why it's not marked up. It's informed by previous job descriptions. In reality, I don't know that I'm going to fill this position. I may divide it up and have several people do it as stipends or something. I know, right. Right. So that's my intent, was to bring something that potentially we might fill, but we might just have it as a possibility and not actually enact it.
I guess it's that we have job descriptions like taking a teacher, that we've never taken back, and it's there.
Right.
So do I have a motion to approve this job description? So moved. Do I have a second discussion?
I just wanna, so is there gonna be, I mean, how much of this is a full year situation that's, out of school time? Is this something that we're gonna be able to handle, you think? If we, let's say worst case scenario, as we say, we don't find an out of school director, I mean, it's not like we're asking people to volunteer during the school day, it's a bigger ask, and I know it's important to a lot of people, but is it doable?
We'll figure out a way to make it work. Cynthia, JP, and I were on a phone call this afternoon about it. We put a Band-Aid on it for the next 2 weeks. And in the next 2 weeks, we'll come back to you with a plan to do it going forward.
Anyone else? So I have a motion and a second, roll call, Sarah. Allison. Allison.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can.
Okay, I,
Thank you. Jason.
Aye.
Bill. Aye. Bill.
Yes.
Diane.
Yes.
Rich.
Yes.
And yes, it's unanimous.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate it. So the next one is the MSB update, right? So the other day, the MSBA voted as a whole board to approve us to go to the next level. Is that better?
I think it's picking up from your computer.
There's feedback for sure, but we can live with it.
Okay.
It's not a lot more.
Okay, so we're excited that the MSBA did that. We appreciate their support. The MSBA directly sent press releases and it was covered in different ways. The MSBA's contribution is in the 59 to 61 million dollar range, which is a really big deal. And we're going to be holding several community engagement sessions, a big one on the 16th, but also ones in each of the town's libraries to get the word out about what's going on. There was a lot of chatter on Facebook. And some people are really well informed and some people don't know what's going on, right? And we're going to take a lot of time to reach out and communicate to people so they can make an informed decision. Yeah, do you want to add anything, Justin?
That really exciting that the MSBA is, giving us around $60 million for a new project, and now it's up to us to convey how important this is and how much of a gift this is to the three towns that have this money and use it to our advantage. So the next building committee meeting is Wednesday the 10th, and then again the last real big informational meeting at the high school is Tuesday the 16th. So love to have you spread the word, get as many people there as possible, and pack the auditorium.
And I think one thing that's important to share is no matter what decision our community makes, we're going to make a big investment, right? And it ends up that the cost of a new building and the cost of repairing the existing building are very, very close. And you do a new building and you have a great space for 60 years that addresses all sorts of educational safety, sustainability issues, and lets us add an additional vocational program and lets Christinello's students put their cars up on lifts in ways that they can work underneath them, and numerous other things. So I think it's important that people realize we've gotten 60 years out of this building and it's time to invest. And one way of investing really has all sorts of additional benefits, and another way has significantly fewer, plus it's really disruptive.
And that we need to do now before November 4th gets here as a school committee.
Well, we taken the vote, we haven't taken the vote yet, that's for sure.
Right, so at our next,
Still got vote on it.
right, at the next meeting, I'm going to propose that or we'll put on the agenda that the school committee votes on this, right? And I think it would be very powerful if that vote was unanimous or near unanimous. I think after that, it might make sense for the school committee to charge a member or to write a thoughtful op-ed explaining why you voted the way you voted. And
I think we should wait and see how the committee votes, although I think I know how we're gonna vote.
right,
But I think we should speak as one, I think we should have a broad public statement as a school committee as to why this is an important project. Right.
right.
Because, a lot of people don't know what we're doing everything. You gotta say it a lot of times,
And then I think that we have the month of September and the month of October, right? And I think our charge is for all of us to engage in as many conversations as we can to inform people about the choice ahead, and then hopefully they make a good choice.
I know the committee is helped by signs, yard signs, I think. I've heard that. Yes. Can we put them in our yards or are we off limits?
No, your yard's your yard. Yeah.
And
Big house like yours, Bill, I want 3 signs out there.
you know, we, as school committee people, we can wear buttons. There's something I've already addressed that issue. It's not a, no, that's not true. I can, I call the ethics board, and you're gonna wear that, and I can wear a yes button at a meeting, because it's called de minimis. It is de minimis, meaning that it's insignificant or trivial. It's very much like what Trump is doing with the tariffs under $750. He's now tariffing those things. And previously he didn't because they were de minimis.
Yeah, no, I heard it on the radio the other day.
So Bill, checked MCAS and Trump in this meeting. Can we go a meeting without MCAS and without Trump one of these times?
I don't mention Trump.
No, it's very funny. Yeah, so I mean, I think the MSBA news is really good and strong.
They're strong.
Yeah.
We presented facts and they make a decision, and I hope that they make the decision that we want them.
Yeah, agreed.
Hey, either way.
Yep. The belonging and safety, I think this month was just about sort of the opening of school and how each school worked really, really hard to meet and embrace everybody that's coming in. And I think it's really remarkable, right? And that 2 students went up to Christopher and said that means it's working, right? So I really appreciate everything everybody's done. I dropped in at Muddy Brook and at the high school. I didn't make it to the middle school on opening day. And like the sense of eagerness in kids' eyes and parents' eyes, like balances off the crying for the view. Like it was remarkable. And they were waiting outside to get in. And they opened the doors and people raced in and were hugging everybody. It was really neat.
Decision, right, a year ago, between the principals. And now it's solid administration, they were solid then too, but they're all new, learning everything. And now it's such a positive attitude.
Yeah.
There's not the apprehension.
Really remarkable. So that's it for me. And Steve, I hand it back to you.
Policy, subcommittee report, policy is not met, buildings and grounds, it's not that. Superintendent's evaluation is done, finance subcommittee, Rick, we did.
We did meet, we met earlier today, it was really just our organizational meeting and we set our calendar. And we're gonna get that out to everybody in the next, probably next week, Sharon's making some changes to it. One small change from how we've typically done it is rather than do each of the high schools on a separate night. We're gonna do them all on one night, but we're not gonna have it be a school committee meeting night. In fact, I think we set October 30th for that. That's always a big meeting,
Yeah.
finance committee members want to attend. And get that all put together. And I know we got off schedule a little bit last year, and given everything that's going on this year, we are gonna be like a well-oiled machine and meet all of our deadlines and do everything on the dates that are in this calendar. It's gonna be no deviation whatsoever.
Negotiations, the only question I have, at some point we need to start a schedule. It's gonna be after the vote, we know that, but maybe we start doing the dates.
Yeah, I can reach out to the various bargaining groups and do that.
Our subcommittee, so that we don't all of a sudden in November 5th, and we better meet some.
Right.
Do you want to look at personnel report?
Yeah, let's just talk about that for a sec. Sorry. Lots of new certified appointments, a couple science teachers, including a recent graduate, Lucas Kissel, and then Caitlin Decker, who's a new elementary school teacher, is also a recent graduate. So we continue the nice tradition of our graduates. We're picking up Kristen Benke as our business administrator with a start date of October 27th. She comes to us from Pittsfield with great experience, and Kristen and Sharon will have some overlap, so she can get set up well. Several paraprofessionals, we're excited about them. A couple resignations, leave of absence. The positions we have now are paraprofessional positions in all buildings, a biology teacher and an administrative assistant at the high school, and we're working hard to fill those.
Any old or new business before the committee? Any public comment?
Yeah, let me see, sorry.
Being done, we will, unanimous consent adjourned.
Okay, thank you all.